Hi, Reverend Sage Cole here, pastor of the Swedenborg Chapel and visionary leader of the Helen Keller Center, which we wish to build here in Cambridge, Massachusetts. And I am recording this video to announce a new church Jubilee year that we in Cambridge are going to begin celebrating as of today and for the next 12 months until March 3rd, 2023. And we are celebrating this Jubilee year in honor of Helen Keller, who named March 3rd as her spiritual birthday. It was the day in 1887 when she first met Annie Sullivan, who would be her teacher and lifelong friend, who would give her the tools she needed to engage with the larger world and live her amazing life. And so in honor of this spiritual birthday, in honor of this vision of the Helen Keller Center that we are planting and proclaiming here in Cambridge, and in honor of Swedenborg's vision of the new church, we declare this Jubilee year as a year to reflect on all that we have been through these last 2 years of the COVID-19 pandemic. We declare this Jubilee year as an intentional time to sit with the uncertainty that we have been faced with these last 2 years, to try things a little bit differently, to think outside of the box, whatever box it might be that has kind of guided our church these many years thus far, and to listen to each other in deeper and more meaningful ways, to try to hear, to see, to feel, and to know more deeply how we might truly be this new church that Swedenborg proclaimed was to come. We feel a sense of urgency about this vision. I don't know about you, but I know that there is a live question as to whether or not our earth and our human community will persist into the future. We are seeing the direct effects of climate change. We are living through a time of rising authoritarian leaders around the world. We are living in a deeply materialistic culture with incredible inequities between us. We are living in a world that is not living by deeper spiritual values in a way that I believe we will need to live if we are to persist. Swedenborg declared that a new church was to come into the world to help to shepherd the new heaven and the new earth that was also to be. Our faith is incredibly hopeful, and perhaps some may call it naive, because many perhaps have already given up on the possibility that humankind is worthy of change, able to change, and will be able to overcome the challenges that lie before it. I know my children watch apocalyptic cartoons. They exist at this time. My kids are growing up in a world where they don't quite know or believe in a future, and they have to live with that uncertainty. I, for one, believe in a new world. I believe, and I've experienced the heavenly life in the experience of joy and true community with others. And I believe that many of us all over the globe know that life. We know what it is to love, and we see that it is actually sometimes the simplest, most straightforward call. And yet the world is giving us a lot of other messages that are distracting, that are keeping us complacent and quiet, and that are often keeping us at odds, not only with one another, but within ourselves. We in Cambridge declare this new church Jubilee year as a time of getting back to that foundational belief in love and hope and possibility, and beginning to explore and try new ways of living that love, of expressing that love, and of inviting others into it, of inviting others, of gathering together in new ways so that we can be a church that can help us to get through the tumultuous times that still lay ahead. If we are to get from where we are now to where we must be, if our world is to persist, We are going to have to go through incredible changes. We will need the new church to be able to weather that change. We will need one another. We will need faith and confidence in what we might be able to do for our ancestors many, many generations down the road. It's time to think of them. And that's what we want to do together in this new church Jubilee year. I'm not sure exactly what it's all going to look like, because that's what experiments are. But I do know it's going to have to do with listening to one another, telling our stories, listening to our intuition, to the way in which God is actually speaking within all of our lives. It's going to be about community. It's going to be about humility. It's going to be about reading and studying and looking into Swedenborg's vision anew, but it's also going to be about looking at this vision as it is unfolding now, in real time, in the life of all humans. So I invite you to join with us in Cambridge, and there's going to be a lot of different ways to do that. Maybe you're already a part of a church community and you might want to celebrate this new church Jubilee year with them in your own way, in partnership with us. Maybe you'll want to participate in what we are doing and join in, and you are more than welcome, as we hope that this year will be one of unfolding community, not just in Cambridge, but everywhere, because we know that the virtual ways in which we gather are creating opportunities for welcoming in people in different parts of the country and in the world to these conversations that are so important. More will be revealed, but today begins the celebration. So if you can wish Helen Keller a happy birthday on this March 3rd, if you can lift up and celebrate the way in which she lived her incredibly faithful, devout, powerful life, not just seeking to love in a theoretical sense, but seeking to change the world so that more love could be expressed, let's look to her as one of the examples that we have for how we understand what this new church might be that we're meant to be a part of. And let's do it together. Let's have some fun. Let's not just sit in uncertainty for the sake of sitting uncertainty, but let's sit in the reality of uncertainty while sitting at the same time with the reality of what is unchanging. And that unchanging truth is the fact that we are here and given this incredible life to live. The fact that our parents made the choice to bear us and bring us into the world to give us the gift of life. The fact that there is hope, there is possibility, and there is joy in life, and that joy comes through relationship and connection. Let's start with what we know, and let's proclaim that truth boldly so that it can fill our bones and give us strength to continue to face the things that are challenging and hard. We invite you into this new church Jubilee as a time of humility and curiosity, two things that are vital to the spiritual path. So won't you please join us?